Hey guys, it's been some time since I posted a video and I apologize for that. And I have a couple projects up here that need done for wintertime and I thought maybe I'd share them with you. As you can tell, it's really sunny this morning, so my batteries are charging up. And the leaves are really starting to come off the trees now up here on the mountain. The cabin here, this used to be all wooded and it was kind of a mess. It was rocky. And I cleaned all this up with a small backhoe and I seeded it. And it actually turned out really nice back here. And one of the things I have to do is get this wood stacked, and I cut this last summer. And I have a new tarp and stuff, and this is one of the things that needs done before it gets cold. The box behind the cabin is where I keep all my solar equipment. And the reason I don't keep, batteries and stuff inside is because of the gas discharge when these batteries are charging during the day. And you never want to store these batteries, inside your place. And also another good place would keep these batteries would be like a building or something. And I do have a shed right now here at the cabin, but before I never had one, so I decided just to build this box to store my equipment in. I just replaced the 10 marine batteries, and I was starting to have some problems with the other ones. And I decided to go with the same batteries again because I had really good luck with the first ones. And these batteries are less expensive than some of the other ones I've seen for solar systems. And I know some people say, you got to buy better quality stuff. And, that's true sometimes, but it's also how you maintain stuff. And with a solar system, the batteries is really the only maintenance you have. And you got to make sure, you equalize your batteries and also the water's at the proper level. But, all the other equipment's really held up really good. And these batteries cost roughly right around $1,000. And I don't think, that's not too awful bad for over a 10-year span. Now these 10 marine batteries, they're in a 24 volt configuration. And like I said, the charge controller and the inverter I really never had no problems with. And this system works, I found out it's just about the right size for this cabin. And, if like for a larger house, I'd say you'd have to, go double on the, especially the solar panels, because I have 2.2 kilowatts of solar coming in. But I'm really energy efficient in this cabin. Like everything, is LED lights, TV. So, the main thing is to watch your energy consumption. That way you don't have to spend so much on a solar system. I decided to have this shed built a couple years after the cabin, and I really needed a place to, to store like the four-wheelers and the generator and stuff and keep it out of the weather. And you can see them 2 solar panels on the back. And them 2 solar panels, I think it's like 135 watts a piece. And they were the very first ones I started with. And they used to be on back of the cabin. So I decided just to, move them on the shed. And that way I have electricity inside. And also I have an outlet. That way if I need to, operate a drill or something. I just got all the wood stacked. And it was actually quite a bit of work. But I enjoyed doing it. And behind here you can see where I expanded the backyard. And it allows enough sunlight to come in and hit my solar panels. I only keep wood on the front porch during the winter, and the reason behind that is because of the mice and the snakes. And what I do is I push this wheelbarrow right up this board on the steps, so that way I don't have to carry too much. And that amount of wood right there will usually last me up to a week. One thing I like doing before using the wood stove is taking this pipe off and running the wire brush up inside to make sure it's clean. I feel a lot safer doing this. And also I'm going to use some stove polish this year because I'm getting some rusty spots on the pipe and also some spots there on the stove. And this stuff really works. It makes your stove look like new again. Okay, I have the pipes outside here where I can clean them real good. And I have this wire brush taped onto the pipe. And that's way I can just, run that brush up inside the pipes and make sure I get everything out real good. And one thing I learned is not to burn like styrofoam and stuff like that. And that'll help, keep so much creosote from building up. And another thing I like to use is this furnace cement, like around the places where I took them apart. That way it'll help prevent any smoke coming around the joint. I just finished up the wood stove and I'm really impressed in the way it turned out. And this job took maybe about an hour to do. And one tube of this polished the entire stove and also the pipe. And what you want to do is just put some on a rag, and it takes a little bit of elbow grease. And it seems like the more, you rub it down with this rag, it really makes it shine a little bit more. And also, I'll have a link in the description of this stuff if you decide you want to order some. It's starting to cool down, so I decided to make a fire. And as you can tell, you can really put some big chunks of wood in this stove, and I really like it, especially at nighttime, so you don't have to worry about getting up in the middle of the night and putting wood in the stove. And the front doors open up, but I never use them. I think it's just mostly for looks. One thing I decided to do this summer was to repaint the walls and also restain the boards. And I use an early American stain, it's called, on the trim boards. And also I had to do a lot of drywall work because I was getting a lot of cracks in places. I think it was like over time where the cabin, where it finally settled, and you can see it looks, a lot better. Now this wall required a lot more drywall work, and there was quite a few cracks. And one other thing was, there used to be an outlet right below where that picture is. And I decided to move it down behind the TV, the way the cords are not exposed. And, some people say, oh, you're not off the grid because, you got a satellite, electricity, and mostly, all the comforts of home. But this place is like probably 95% powered by the sun. And I do have a backup generator for like overcast days and stuff. In the bathroom, I didn't have to repaint the walls, but I did repaint the base cabinet and around the mirror. And also I restained around all the trim boards in here as well. And all these boards is really starting to fade out. And I think it kind of gives it like more of a new look again just by restaining these trim boards. This cabin's really not that large. It's only a 16 by 24, but it has an open floor plan and it has really tall ceilings, so it makes it feel like there's a lot more room in here. And I know some people that came up here and they're kind of shocked when they walk in, and I think, it has a lot to do with the, these ceilings. And upstairs I have 2 twin beds, and downstairs I have a queen. I'm here at the kitchen table, and behind the satellite dish there's a pond. And one of the things I like to do is make this pond, twice the size that it is right now. And so I'm going to start, looking for a larger backhoe and a truck. And I know it's going to be, quite a bit of work to do this. And also I bought some adjacent property right below it. And also I'd like to put another pond there. And, it's nice to sit here at the table and, you can see deer and bear and stuff come in the evenings. It's been quite the busy weekend up here at the cabin, trying to get everything done before winter moves in. And as you can tell, the off-grid lifestyle can be a lot of work. But, it's something I enjoy doing, and I enjoy being outside. And I had a couple of deer come out earlier behind the cabin, and also with the leaves and everything falling. It's definitely a different change in the scenery up here with the seasons. And I'm going to do another video about the solar power system because a lot of people's asked me questions about it in my previous video. And I have a hard time just answering that in a comment. So I'm going to go in a little bit more detail of what all I had to do to make that work, because it actually took me quite a bit of time. And I started just with a small solar power system you see on my shed with like 200 and some watts up to a 2.2 kilowatt hour solar power system I have now. And this cabin is 100% off the grid. I mean, I do have a gas small stove and a water heater. But I'm going to try and list all the components on the solar power system and everything. That way you get a better understanding. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.